students, welcome back to the Google Classroom of Plus 1 Statistics, Chapter 2, Collection of Data. I hope all of you have studied the previous topics of this chapter very well and you all performed very well in your test paper. In the last class, we have learnt about the topic questionnaire. What are the different types of questionnaire? Close-ended questionnaire and open-ended questionnaire. Then, what are the three methods or modes of data collection? Personal interview, mailing questionnaire, and telephonic interview. Today, we will learn about different topics like population and sample, census and sample survey, random sampling and non-random sampling. Children, we have already learned about census and sample in previous classes. A survey which includes every element of population is known as census or the method of complete enumeration. The census is carried out in every 10 years. So the last census was held in 2011. According to this 2011 census, what was the population of India? 121.09 crores. Then the next census will held on 2021. Do you know how a manufacturer decides about a product or how a political party decides about a candidate? Yes, they conduct a survey by asking questions about a particular product or candidate from a large group of people. So, what do you mean by survey? Survey is a method of gathering information from individuals. Once more, survey is a method of gathering information from individuals. The surveys are done to describe some characteristics like price, quality, usefulness, and popularity, etc. So, what is the purpose of survey? The purpose of the survey is to collect data or gathering information from individuals. On the basis of area covered, there are two methods of survey. What are they? Census survey and sample survey. For the census survey, we take a large number of people. But sample survey, the population is very small compared to the census. So this is the diagrammatical representation of this census and sample. Census, this much area is covered by census. Then what about the sample? Only this small area is covered by a sample. Okay. Then what do you mean by census or complete enumeration? A survey which includes every element of the population. It covers every individual unit in the entire population. The examples includes Census of India, which is carried out every 10 years. So the Census of India is carried out every 10 years. These surveys are carried for demographic data on birth, death, literacy. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages of this census? First, the results are absolutely correct, accurate and reliable. That is the first advantages of this census. Results are absolutely correct, accurate and reliable. Then less chances of biasness. Biasness means errors. Less chances of getting error. Then next one, data related to each element is collected. So each and every element is collected by every population, every element of the population. Then disadvantages. A lot of time because it covers the entire population of the country. So it takes a lot of time. Then energy and money is required to collect data. So for the census of India, the Indian government spent a lot of time, energy, and money to collect the required data from this population, entire population. The next one, suitable for certain specific cases. This census is suitable for certain specific cases. Then large number of enumerators are required for collecting data. So this data collection is a time consuming process, energy consuming process, and money consuming process, and it requires a large number of enumerators for the collection of data. Next one is sample survey. In this, a sample from the population is surveyed. The first step is selecting a sample to identify the population. Then select a representative sample as it is difficult to study entire population. So sample survey, in this sample survey we have to take a sample from the population and it is surveyed. Then what are the examples of the sample survey? Population, research, etc. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages of this sample survey? First one, economical, as only some units are studied. So it is very economical process. Then not time consuming because the area of sample is very small, or the units of sample is very small compared to the population. Then less efforts are required as small portion is studied. Then what are the disadvantages? Only partial investigation of the universe. Then not easy to select a sample which represent the whole population. So it is a difficult process to select a sample from the whole population. Then it is complicated process and it is very difficult. So children, what are the methods of sampling? The first method of sampling is random sampling. Then second one is non-random sampling. So first we study random sampling in detail. Method where samples are selected at random. In this method, every individual unit has an equal chance of being selected. Methods under random sampling: lottery method, table of random numbers, and exit polls. These are the different methods of random sampling. Once more, lottery method, table of random numbers, and exit polls. So first one is lottery method. In this method, all the items in the populations are assigned a distinct number and these are written on identical piece of paper and put in a bowl. Samples are selected on random. The next method of random sampling is table of random numbers. In this, random numbers are arranged in rows and columns which are selected on population size. Then third one, exit polls. It is used to predict election results. In this technique, a random sample of voters who exit from the polling booths are asked who they voted for. We have seen these exit polls during the time of election. Then second method is non-random sampling. In this, all the units of the population do not have an equal chance of being selected. Methods under this are judgment, purposive, or deliberate sampling, then quota sampling, and convenience sampling. So first one is judgment or purposive or deliberate sampling. In this method, the sample units are selected consciously by the investigator on the basis of his judgment. And this method is subject to personal bias of investigator, personal errors, personal misunderstandings of an investigator. Then second one, quota sampling. Here the investigator is allotted definite quota and he is required to collect the required data from a specific numbers of unit of each quota. Then third one, convenience sampling. Here, the investigator collects the sample units on the basis of his convenience. So these are the three methods of non-random sampling: judgment or purposive or deliberate sampling, quota sampling, and convenience sampling. So these are the two methods of sampling: random sampling and non-random sampling.
So children, let us conclude today's session by recollecting all the concepts. What do you mean by census? A survey which includes every element of population is known as census. The census is carried out in every 10 years. Then what do you mean by population or universe in statistics? The population or universe in statistics means the totality of items under study. Then there are two types of sampling. They are random sampling and non-random sampling. So children, please note that the corresponding URL, notes of the lesson and test paper are also attached along with this video. Make use of all these available resources, study well and attend the test paper without fail. Thank you.